Hello ladies. Welcome to Wednesday's class. Got our usual push stuff today, so triceps, shoulders, always legs and abs. Let's see. We are going to use the band for one exercise, but you can definitely use your dumbbells on the floor as that push chest press exercise. So if you don't have a band, a long band, definitely I'll give you the option for that on the floor. Other than that, we're just dumbbells and body weight. Give it a second as usual. All right, it is a minute after there, so let's get going. All right, so our usual warm up here, hips, feet, I always mess this up. Feet are hip distance apart, toes pointing straight forward. Reach down, up, dip, and twist. Okay, come nice and wide. Same reaches. Okay, all the way narrow. Okay, come out to hip distance apart again. Externally rotate the toes. Twist. And internally rotate. Perfect. All right, so I've got a brand new one for us to start today. So probably choose a fairly light weight to start, at least for the first set. You can always go up the next ones once your body kind of figures out what you're doing here. So slow motion, I'll just show you the form first. You're gonna hold one dumbbell in the middle of your body. You're gonna squat down. You're gonna pull it up. So think about those upright rows that we've been doing. But once you get here, you're going to twist and then push it over your head. Okay, so that's slow-mo what the movement looks like. And then in real time, it's squat, push up. Okay, so it's, a fairly fast movement, but make sure you're getting that like pull up and then rotate, push. All right, here we go. So middle of your body, squat down, push up. Right at about chin level, that's where you start to twist. And 12. All right, gotta do it on the other side. Here we go. Resist the urge, I just did it. Don't put your other hand on your leg, or you can rest it there very gently, but don't push down through it. And 12. All right, get your other light weight to go with that there now. And we're going to do our lateral raises, the ones chest out, shoulders back, raising out to the sides. And 12. All right, and then both dumbbells, we're going to do that leaning forward, high elbows, kick back. Squeeze those triceps. Pause there at the top for a second. Make sure you're fully extended. 12. All right, take your little breather. All right, back to the first one. Here we go. So feet are a little bit wider than hip distance to start on this one, and it's make sure you're sitting back into the squat too. Don't just hinge over, and that's not a deadlift. It's more like a squat, okay? So squat down, throw it up. Side. Wow. All right, let's get in the other dumbbell. We'll move right into our lateral flies. So chest out, arms out to shoulder height. Slowly lower it back down. Okay, and then our hinge down, elbows high, kick back. All right, little breather. All right, third and final round of these. Here we go. Squat, row it up. And 12. All right, other one, right into it. Keep that heart rate up. And 12. All right, lateral flies. 12. All right, and the last one of this circuit. Hinge down, nice good posture with the back. Kick it back. 12. All right, so that's it for those. So take your little break. As I said in the beginning, we are going to use the long band hooked up to something if you have that option in the circuit. If you don't, dumbbells on the floor are fine. So once we come to it, I'll give you that. I just want you to have the heads up to start thinking. All right, we are going back to our lateral lunge with rotation like we did last week. Okay, so lateral lunge means stepping straight over to the side, toes pointing straight forward. Sit on that leg and then just twist the dumbbell out. All right, 12 reps on each side. All right, other side. And 12. All right, so if you have the band set up, get that going. First, I'll show you, so if you don't have a band set up, you're gonna grab 2 dumbbells, probably medium to heavy, lighter, probably too light. You're gonna lay down on the floor, so flat on the floor, but your knees are bent, and then you're just gonna push straight up over your chest like that. Okay, and if you have a band, we're wrapping around the post at about chest height. Okay, 1 foot forward, doesn't matter which one, it's just kind of to keep you nice and stable. And then push straight up from your chest, slowly bring it back in. And 12. All right, so next exercise has a couple different versions here. If you cannot handle any impact on your ankles, knees, hips, that kind of stuff, back, you're just gonna do some body weight squats, okay? So that's beginner's version, or if you have some kind of injury or anything that you shouldn't be jumping and have impact. Medium version is just gonna be doing a little bit of a jump squat, straight up and down. And advanced, we're actually going to do a rotational jump squat. So we're going to turn 90 degrees every time. Okay, so you squat down, jump, land 90 degrees, land back. Okay, so 12 on each side. You can do 6 on each side for 12 total jumps, or anything in between. All right, let your heart rate come down a little bit, grab a sip. All right, right, we got our band pushes, or come down to the floor for your dumbbell push on the floor if you don't have the right setup for the band. All right, so same motion, just straight up from your chest, whether you're using a band or dumbbells. And 12. All right, back to our jumps, whether you're doing the rotational or the straight up and down. Even if it's just a very slight little bit of impact and jump, that's excellent. Impact is so good for us, for our bone densities and everything, so if you can do it at all, get it in. Here we go, squat and add the rotation if you can. 12. All right, just a little break again. Oh, that gets the heart rate up. All right, round 3, last one before we hit the mats. Let's go. Okay, time to switch. All right, band presses. Here we come. All right, straight out. Slowly let it come back. And 12. All right, last jumps. My heart rate is still up, my legs are still burning, but let's get it. And 11 and 12. Whew, all right. Take a little breather, and like I said, we're going to come down to our mats for this last circuit. You do need a small dumbbell with you. All right, so we're going to go for those Russian twists that we've been doing the last couple weeks. If you feel like you can go up on weight with this one, since we've been doing it a couple weeks now, go right ahead. But remember, keep those knees controlled. Don't let them go side to side. All right, so lay that dumbbell down, and then you lay down on your rack. And then we're going to put hands underneath our hips just to kind of help flatten our back onto the floor. Legs up in the air, and then drop your legs as far down. So your range of motion here depends on how well you can keep your low back down. If you only go a quarter of the way down and you feel like your back is starting to pop up, that's the end of your range of motion. If you can go all the way to the floor and back, awesome. So choose your range of motion on what that low back can handle. Same thing with the number of reps. If you feel like even at the easiest version you're starting to pop up, just finish your reps there. Okay, get your 12. And then we're going to do just traditional crunches. So feet on the floor, knees are bent. Your low back again stays in contact with the floor. You're just going to curl your upper body, neck and shoulders lift up. Exhale as you come up, so this belly flattens. Perfect. So very important on those crunches, guys, to do that, like I said, the exhale on the way up. It kind of activates those abs a little more, flattens out the belly. And also you're kind of cradling your head, but you're not death gripping it and pulling up by your neck. Basically, you're just letting the weight of your head go back into your hands. Hands aren't pulling up whatsoever. All right, so take a little breather. We're back to our Russian twist. All right, lean back, chest out, and go. And 12. All right, lay back for our leg lifts. So hands underneath to kind of help support that spine. Keep that back pressed down and drop. And 12. All right, let's get prepped for our crunch. So like I said, head just kind of falls into your hands a little bit. Exhale as you come up. Another little break, and we just got one more set left. All right, are we ready? Here we go. Last of the twist. Down to the back, leg lifts, get them. Twelve. Whew. All right. Get that back situated. Cradle the head gently and go. Whew, 12. All right. That is it for the workout. Let's get into our stretches. I went by fast today. It's fast but sweaty. Jumping always. We'll always do it. The legs stretched out, reaching down towards the toes. Okay, bottoms of your feet touch, knees fall open. All right, 90-90. Again, lean forward over that front leg. Okay, other one. Excellent. All right, we're gonna sit back on our heels, the child's pose. Okay, up to all fours. Arch that back up. Drop it down. Awesome. All right, half kneel. So one knee, whatever that one is on the floor, that's your up arm, up and over. Okay, other side. Okay, come on up from the floor. Hold on somewhere and pull that leg up. Okay, other one. All right, and our final one. Grab that hand behind your back. Oh. Pull your shoulders back. Like a rubber band when I do this one. My shoulders are tight. All right, that's it. Excellent work again, ladies. Thank you so much for joining. Next week, Monday, we should be good. Bye-bye.